I'm humbled to be here today to ask to talk to you. You will see on the slides my journey over the last 21 months and some of the people that have been part of this. In October 2003, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease during my first pregnancy. Many drug trials later, and more years on high-dose steroids than I care to remember, I had my first lot of bowel surgery in September 2011, followed by an 11-hour operation in March 2013. In December 2017, I received an email at work about high doses of Imodium and sudden cardiac arrest. I was working as a senior practice nurse at a GP surgery. I completely panicked as I was on very high doses. I asked a colleague to perform a routine ECG. It was normal. What a relief, I thought. Previous to this post, I had an extensive nursing background in emergency medicine. I had been involved in many cardiac arrest situations over the years and resuscitated many patients. My memory recalled they were already in poor health, previous cardiac history, they were smokers, they had poor lifestyles, they drank excessively, they had other health conditions. I didn't have anything in common with these patients. Get a grip, Charlotte, I thought. You don't smoke, you only drink occasionally, you couldn't be further removed from these people. December 2017, I passed comment a few times to colleagues at work that I felt odd, almost flu-like. Others at work said the same, and we all commented what an awful virus it was. We were manic at work, busy preparing for Christmas. I was a full-time working nurse, studying for a diploma in contraception. I was a working mum, life was busy. Christmas Day 2017, I'm told I passed comment around 9 o'clock at night that I didn't feel quite right. So around 10 o'clock, we left my parents' house to go the few minutes home. At 2:20 on the 26th of the 12th, 2017, I let out an agonal gasp. This woke my engineer husband, Stuart, and as he turned the light on, I had swung my legs out of bed and was falling forwards towards the radiator. He pulled me back to wake me, only I didn't wake. My eyes were fixed. I was letting out occasional groans. I was in full cardiac arrest. Stuart rang 999, and we've since heard that fateful call, and his calmness in the most terrifying situation is nothing short of heroism. I have witnessed many medical professionals in more panic than Stuart sounded. He was instructed to pull me onto the floor and to start chest compressions. He shouts through to our son Sam to open the door. Sam pushes our bedroom door open. He tells him he loves him and to let the paramedics in. 7 minutes later, my angels Lou, Sophie and Danny, also known as the paramedics, enter my home. The Christmas presents are strewn all over the lounge. The Christmas tree is up. This is the week of my 41st birthday. I'm shocked by a defibrillator and taken in an unconscious state to a local hospital where I arrest again. Some 18 hours later, I'm transferred to the John Radcliffe Hospital in Oxford, some 25 miles from our home. One of my first memories is looking at the cardiac monitor. My heart rate is 30. I remember telling Stuart in my confused state that this is too low. The nurses and doctors are trying to kill me. The nurse in me is screaming to come out that something is desperately wrong, but right now I am that confused patient, yet I feel so sane. I lay there in the cath lab to have my ICD inserted, whereby I rest again. I feel a thump on my chest. This isn't me. This can't be happening to me. This must be a patient. It's now January the 3rd. I'm given a leaflet about ICDs, told not to go near magnets or deep sea diving. Oh, and you can't drive for 6 months. You're being discharged home and a cardiologist will see you in 3 months. Stuart takes my hand, armed with the British Heart Foundation leaflets, and we leave hospital. I've seen no ICD nurse. The enormity starts to sink in. I keep swearing. I am so angry. How could this have happened to me? I'm Charlotte, an experienced nurse. I struggle to stand without my legs feeling like they're going to give way. Every breath is complete agony. Surely each breath is going to be my last. I'm utterly exhausted but can't sleep for fear of not waking. I can't leave my husband and children. I'm 41 and they need me. At that point, I decide to turn to work by the end of February. That will help me forget all about this. I set up a rota of amazing friends and family to take me the 28-mile round trip to work. When patients ask how I am, I feel like I'm talking about one of them. This doesn't happen to nurses. March 2017, friends ask if I can teach them CPR. I arranged with a friend who owns her own resuscitation company to teach 30 friends basic life support. We asked for £10 from each person and Stuart suggests we buy a defib. The response was phenomenal. My friend Kath, a cardiac rehabilitation nurse, suggests we get signed off from the British Heart Foundation to teach this. Really, Kath? Do you think local people would be interested? So first of all, we arrange a Christmas party in May for friends and family and ask for donations. No one takes Christmas away from me. We have a 7-foot Christmas tree, 200 Christmas crackers and a snow machine. We ask everyone to wear Christmas jumpers on the hottest May day in record. Suddenly, we have enough money to buy our first defib. We contact SADS UK and with their support and guidance, we place our first defib on a local pub. Well, that was easy, we thought. So we set up a Facebook page and called ourselves Do It for Defib. We then don't really do much more. However, we decided very last minute to attend the GWR conference at Basildon Hospital. During that day, suddenly I realised that I fit in. There are others there with equally as amazing stories and that we've defied all odds to be here today. During that evening, I'm quite tipsy and I get chatting to Dr. Keeble. He tells me that what we've been through is more traumatic than words can even begin to say, but it's now how I challenge my emotions. Stuart and I arrive home. We go back onto the Facebook page and we make it live. We struggled to keep up with the response. We are inundated with messages of people hearing our story and wanting to learn CPR. I send local schools emails and ask them to do a mufti day, denim for defib. 7 schools take part and we raise £1,400. We hold an online auction that raises £1,300. We hold a charity golf day for local people and so the money keeps coming. We fill out a mountain of paperwork and we become a registered charity. In July 2019, we receive our charity number. To date, whilst working full-time, we've taught over 600 local people CPR. 4 people who have been on our course have used CPR on a loved one. We are currently installing our 11th defibrillator. We will be the first heart-safe town in the East Midlands, meaning there is a defib every 700 metres. Our defibs have been advised to use by the ambulance service 6 times. However, at 14 months post-cardiac arrest, having had no cardiac rehab, no counselling, and just an amazing husband for support, my mental health suddenly takes a nosedive. I run on 20 minutes sleep a night. I become manic. Just keep busy, Charlotte, I kept saying. You don't have time to think about what's really happened. I need to mourn my previous self. I was never going to be that person again. All of our lives have changed beyond recognition. I managed to source some counselling and I now realise that I am going to live, that each breath won't be my last. Yes, I am one of the 8%. Why did I survive? I don't know, but for that I'm truly blessed. So in April, in full throes of regular counselling, which are helping, I return home after a 13-hour day at work. It's a Monday night. I'm tired, I'm thirsty, and as I walk through the door, my phone rings. I answer it. Charlotte, help, my grandfather's in cardiac arrest. It's my friend on the phone. Have you rung 999, I say? We're coming. I scream at Stuart to get the defib out of the dining room that we're shortly to place on a local hall. We drive the 4 minutes to the patient's house. We are greeted on the drive by 2 people waving at us. We jump out the car, whereby Stuart is still madly trying to get the defib out of the sealed box with all its wrapping on. We enter the bathroom to see 2 people who have come on our course some 8 weeks previously doing chest compressions. I take over while Stuart gets the defib out. We attach the pads and we're told no shock advised. Stuart and I alternate chest compressions and we continue for some 12 minutes until the paramedics arrive. He is taken to hospital with a weak pulse but is alive. Stuart and I arrive home some 2.5 hours later. Did that actually just happen? The first time one of our defibs have been used is Stuart and I using it. We can't sleep. Again, this can't be happening to us. This amazing man died some 2 hours later in hospital with his family by his side. He too had no cardiac history. He'd had a normal day. Stuart often says that as an engineer, he is more qualified than I am. After all, he's done CPR twice in the community, whereas I've only done it once. Did we foresee the impact of doing CPR on this man would have on us yet again? No, we didn't. Neither of us can go to work the next day. We're too traumatised. Our building of the charity, whilst working with SADS, has focused our energy more than I can ever have imagined. My story is not unique today. Post-cardiac arrest is one of the most mixed emotions that can ever be described. You can be in a room full of people, yet feel so alone. However, some days I think everything's happened for a reason. I feel like I'm a better mum, a better wife, a better friend, a better nurse. I take nothing for granted. I will not let my cardiac arrest define me. I will focus my emotions into something proactive. This is one of the best therapies that money can't buy. Do I still have huge emotional challenges to overcome? You bet I do. I still cry. I still struggle to come to terms with the enormity of what's happened. However, there's always hope that one day those feelings will become a bit more distant. Stuart and I also feel that our learning curve has been immense this year. We can all let our cardiac arrest define us, or we can try on the good days to challenge our feelings into trying to save others by working with charities such as SADS UK and placing more defibrillators in the community. Of course, I understand not everybody has the confidence to teach CPR, but we can fundraise and spread awareness of what we have all been through. We both work still full-time. We do this all voluntary. However, this has been the best therapy we ever could have had. To look another family in the eye and know what we have done to help with organising our defibs has meant another family have their loved one with them. SADS UK can support you with this, and their help has been invaluable to us. On closing, there are a few things I would like to share with you that I've learned over the last 21 months. Never go to bed with anything but your best pyjamas on. The physical side is so much easier to overcome than the emotional side. I will never wait to plan those moments. Life can be ripped away in the blink of an eye. That some days, what we have achieved is like we've climbed a mountain, and yet other days I feel like I'm only at the foot. However, I am extremely proud of the £16,000 we have raised in just over a year. I also know that I wouldn't be where I am today without the support of people on Sudden Cardiac Arrest UK. Paul, thank you doesn't even come close. You've saved me in so many ways, and for that I'm truly grateful. To each of you for being here today, for being members of the group, and for simply just getting it. To the amazing NHS that saved all of us, thank you. I'm finished. And I do have to agree, nurses do make the worst patients. The devil whispered in my ear, "You are not strong enough to withstand the storm." I whispered back, "I am the storm." Thank you.
That is beautiful.